Hey there folks, LazyBones 2020 here again with another SRK controller review. Today we're looking at Hori's brand new Switch Battle Pad, which emulates the look and feel of the traditional GameCube controller. And they're designed perfectly for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate coming out here pretty soon. So with these controllers, you look at them instantly, they look amazing. All of the color options that we have here, all designed and based off of characters and franchises you might be familiar with in the Nintendo pantheon of characters. So of course we've got Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Pikachu himself, and one for the Legend of Zelda series. These controllers are really great, really comfortable, and they've got a lot of neat features to them, like turbo mode. You can alter the ZL, ZR, and L and R buttons to kind of swap in case that one's more comfortable in one position than the other. And meaning that they do have the ZL and ZR buttons. You can use them in pretty much any game on the Switch, but there are a couple caveats there. There's no motion controls and there's no vibration. So without the rumble, you might be a little bit out in certain games like Super Mario Odyssey, where you need the rumble and things like that to kind of find certain power moons and things like that. But in terms of Super Smash Brothers, these guys are great for that game. But that being said, you could try them out and use them in other games if you like. Any GameCube controller fan's gonna feel right at home with the Switch Battle Pad by Hori. They feel really comfortable. They're almost exactly the same in size as the original Nintendo GameCube controller. It seems like they're a little bit longer to fit the additional buttons, the screenshot, the home button, and the turbo button. I'm going to use the Peach one here because gives the best view of everything that the controller's got. So it's got this great translucent casing to it. So you can see all of the insides, you can see the board, you can see the buttons when you press them, which is always an awesome design choice. Translucent plastic is always going to get me, just like with the recently released Soul Calibur 6 Hori fight sticks that I also reviewed, and you can read and watch that as well. But very, very awesome in the design aspect with the icons, with the color choices. For most, I'll get to that in a moment. And just how familiar this will be to GameCube fans and to Smash fans, of course. Now, this controller's got a few things that's going to set it apart from the standard GameCube controller. So like I said earlier, it's got ZL and ZR buttons on it. So you're going to be able to play most Nintendo Switch titles with this guy. Anything that doesn't require rumble or motion. So this is going to feel right at home with a lot of titles, especially good old platforming ones. Each stick has an anti-snapback feature built into them, so whenever you're making these quick motions with the sticks, they're not going to go down or to the side to another direction that you're not wanting to input. This is great for Super Smash Bros. Especially because of how important each motion is going to be. You want to make sure that you're not jumping a little bit too over this way, or you want to make sure you're doing a down attack, not a side hit that's not going to make much of a difference. So very, very good feature here. Also, of course, the sticks are clickable, which is actually a really, really cool feature for these. So again, making them more compatible, more like a modern day controller. Buttons, all perfectly placed, just how you remember them. Got the B, A, Y, X. With that, it does translate a little weird if you're not playing a game meant to have the inputs in these directions, or a game that uses limited inputs. Because I tried to play some Blaze Blue Cross Tag with this guy just to see what it was like. And while the D-pad's certainly nice, a lot better than the original GameCube controller, which is a lot smaller and there's not really a whole lot of point to it. This one's got a good sizing, so you could be good with those platformers and things like that. The way these buttons were positioned made it a little hard for a standard fighting game, a typical fighting game. But that being said, it was still fun that I could do it. Unlike the previous, and even currently, the Nintendo GameCube controllers that you get, you have to purchase a separate adapter if you don't have one already from the Nintendo Wii U. And that's $20 on its own. And then the GameCube controllers only work with Super Smash Bros. So that was a bit of a bummer. But with these controllers, you can use them pretty much anything, which is a great feature to have. With the turbo setting, you can set it to do any input repeatedly at different speeds, which is fantastic. These guys, if you want to switch the ZLZR with the original L and R that we have here on the bottom, which you're probably going to have to do with most games because the ZLZR on a standard Nintendo Switch is on the bottom, so it'll feel a little awkward if it's up at the top. You just hold these two buttons, the ZLZR, whenever it's plugged into the USB port of your Nintendo Switch dock, or what we've got our Nintendo Switch hooked up on is the Hori multi-port play stand, which I'll get more to in a second. And then you just hold these, you turn on your Switch, and then it swaps the inputs. So it's as easy as that. Very cool. These also have a very grippy texture to them. It's built into the casing, so it's not rubber, but it's with the plastic. It's got these ridges on them that are going to be a little divisive because you're either going to love it or you're going to wish that it wasn't there. I like it. I like my controllers to have grip on them, especially with this current generation. Most controllers do, like on the PlayStation 4 and the more recent Xbox One controllers. They've all got this grip on them, so that's nice to keep it in your hand so they don't slip or anything like that. But it does, it's really rough, and I'm not sure if you can hear that, but it's not something everyone will appreciate, but it's something that I do and I like. But just keep that in mind if you don't like rough textures and things like that. Aside from that, it feels super comfortable. The R and L buttons that we've got on here, along with the ZL and ZR, these are digital, not analog, like the original Nintendo GameCube controller, which I've got here to show as a bit of an example. So these guys, you had to press all the way down to get that hit there, and that's because with certain games, depending on how far you pressed, it did different things. A lot of games in the older generations use this feature, like for racing games and things like that, where you go faster if you hold it all the way down and things like that. Nowadays, most controllers are purely digital, so with that, you get a much faster response time. And for Super Smash Brothers, that's super important whenever you're needing to dodge or activate your shield real quickly. So a good feature to have on these guys. And both buttons feel great. These buttons can be pressed real quick, which in comparison to the Z button that we have, it's actually like kind of hard and awkward to press, to be completely honest. So having these guys being nice and easy, they're very similar to the PlayStation 4 bumpers, the R1 and L1. So that's something that I appreciate as well. Is they're also concaved a little bit to be reminiscent of the original GameCube controller, but still different since there's not that super deep chasm there. So you're going to get that fast response time. Aside from that, it's just really comfortable to hold. Now, I can't say enough how bummed out I am about there not being a rumble feature in these controllers, just because that added weight would really help these guys too. Some folks like light controllers, and that's a-okay as well. For me, I like to have a little bit of weight to them, but for something like this, if you're carrying it around and you're traveling to competitions and things like that, it would be nice to have a lighter controller in your bag, and that way you're moving it around, it doesn't fatigue you as much, so that's important too. But missing out on that rumble feature really does bum me out a bit. It wasn't super imperative in Super Smash Brothers. I really can't remember what it would do. I think whenever you'd fly out, it might rumble, to be honest, and that's how little they probably used it, as I can barely remember what it was used for. But something I wish these guys had. That being said, I don't think any third-party GameCube style controller on the market right now, from Power A, and I think PDP's making some too, or Hori, they don't have vibration modules in them. So that's just something across the board. So if you do want vibration, you've got to pick up the legit GameCube controller, like one-to-one. This is exactly a GameCube controller, GameCube port and everything, and the GameCube adapter. Whereas with this guy, it's just plug and play, you're good to go. So very, very economical choice too, as well as being a stylish one. Because these are just $25. Just plug it in the USB port and you're ready to play. These guys, which has a different design for the Smash Ultimate, has more of just a geometric shape for the Smash, not the fiery Smash Ball from Wii U. These are $30 on their own, and then of course that $20 adapter. But I'm really, really liking my time with these controllers. While I haven't been able to play Super Smash Bros. With them, like I said, I've been playing some Brawlhalla and Rifles of Aether. So Super Smash Bros. Style games, and they feel great there, so I'm thinking they're only going to fit right at home when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate releases on December 7th. Or pick them up on Amazon or officially through Hori's website. And check your local retailers as well to see if they're selling them too. But I'm really, really liking the Switch Battle Pad. Combined with the multi-port USB dock, the play stand, excuse me, they go really well together. Because with the play stand, gonna pick this guy up, you can alter the angle for your Switch as well as charge it. It's got the USB-C port connected to it. And you get those 4 USB 2.0 ports in here for playing with your friends on the go, practicing a little bit while you're in line for a competition or at a convention while you're waiting with friends. And it folds up really easy, goes in your bag, and it's all ready to go. One thing about it though is you will need to have it plugged in for it to operate, so there does have to be an outlet somewhere nearby, which kind of limits its functionality, but hopefully there'll be something nearby that you can use that with. It's compatible with all first-party and third-party officially licensed controllers and accessories. So look into those as well if you want to max out your potential with it. So the play stand, the battle pad, they're both fantastic. I'm recommending them very highly for those who want a quick, comfortable, reactive controller. That is sleek, really well designed in terms of appearances with that translucent plastic. Interestingly enough, for the Pikachu one, they kind of inverted it, which is strange. It feels a lot grippier because of that, because I think most of the grips on the translucent part. I would have loved for this to be the other way around, for it to be the solid here and the translucent on the front, because this is a really cool color. I'm not sure why it was decided to go that way. Possibly, I'm thinking for how they wanted the Pikachu icon to look. That's the only thing I could think of, was they really needed that solid color for Pikachu's tail. But I can't think of anything else for that. But it's a beautiful controller on the back, and it's still a nice controller for Pokemon fans and Pikachu fans, of course. I really like the Luigi design as well. That color green is fantastic. It's a very pop green. Definitely, you look at it, even without the logo, you'd know this is a Luigi controller. Mario, of course, is always vibrant red, looking great there as well. The Zelda one is the one other controller next to the Pikachu one I wish it was a bit different. They have the Breath of the Wild Link on here, but they chose to go with a solid black color for the controller, which is a little disappointing, because there's a lot of different colors they could have gone with. He's got the whole Hylian shield going on, the Master Sword they could have based it on, his Champion's Tunic that it could have had, or like PDP back in the Wii U days, they could have made it green. I know they do have the green for Luigi, so probably don't want 2 green controllers, but just the fact that while I'm not super crazy about the brown, you know that this is based off of Link's outfit, off of his clothes and everything like that. It's immediate. Where with this, it's just got the Hylian crest on there and the Triforce. While very sophisticated in its design, it seems like a missed opportunity. But maybe I'm hoping these do really well, so we can get either a Ryu which, fingers crossed, totally implausible, but I think it would be great. Or an Ike controller with either a clear white plastic on there with maybe even a red backing to it would be really cool. And then an Ike one with a blue front and a red back to it. Or any Fire Emblem character usually has that color scheme. So that would be neat as well. All in all though, fantastic controllers. I'm looking forward to using them more. Stick around for more of my thoughts on them in the full written review and for my follow-up whenever Super Smash Bros. Ultimate releases. And as always, thanks again for stopping by, and we'll see you out there.